Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited to be sitting down and filming the 6th episode of this series. You guys know this is like my favorite series right now to film on my channel. It's where I ask you guys to rank and vote for your favorite products in each category. We've done primers all the way to bronzers, and now we're doing blushes, as I'm sure you could tell by the title. I had the most participation in this category than any category so far. So first of all, thank you to everybody who submitted your favorite blushes. I'm so excited to share with you the top 10 according to you. If you haven't seen the other episodes, I will have the playlist in the description box down below. Be sure to watch the rest. I am having a blast filming these. And if you guys want to participate in episode 7, which is going to be highlighters, I'm going to have a Google form in the description box, so be sure to fill that out if you want to participate in the next episode. You guys are what make these so fun. So if you have a favorite highlight, it can be cream or powder, whatever you feel like is the best highlighter to ever exist. Don't forget to submit it. It's so fun for me to go through all of your submissions and create videos like this. So again, that'll be in the description box down below. Side note, I'm trying some falsies today. I mean, I've worn these before in a video a couple days ago. Well, it's a few days for me, but it's a couple days for you guys. I tried these out. These are the REM Beauty Eternally Meowing lashes, and I had a pretty intense wing when I wore them last, so I wanted to give them a go on a softer eye look. I'm still not used to seeing myself in lashes. However, I do feel like these somewhat flatter me. I still don't feel like I'm an expert at applying them either, so hopefully they look decent throughout this. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the top 10 blushes according to you. We're going to start with number 10 and work our way all the way up to number 1. I say this in every single episode, but one of my favorite things about these is you guys end up submitting such a variety in products, whether that be, you know, different formulas, creams and powders, different finishes, and also different price points, which I personally really love. Because to me, it just goes to show you that a great blush doesn't have to cost a lot, you know? It's like a good mix in every single episode that I do. And so often the number 1 product that's picked is also drugstore. So you'll have to wait and see what the number 1 blush is. Let's start off with number 10. Coming in at number 10 with 51 votes is the e.l.f. Putty Blush. Now I have 2 shades that I've already dipped into. Honestly, I can't remember which shade is which. It doesn't have the shade names on these. These were sent in PR. I don't know if it's different if you buy them. Hopefully they have a shade on the bottom. Let's go ahead and read some reviews from you guys. Alright, so Kylie said, this blush went viral for a reason. It's so foolproof and impossible to go overboard. It's so easy to blend out. If I want a bolder look, I just use a brush, but if I want it to be more natural, I just use my fingers. I have the shade Tahiti, and it's my perfect natural shade for any time of the year. Love you, Allie. Love you too, Kylie. By the way, you guys, I will tell you at the end what the most popular mentioned shades are in the range. I had to do blushes a little bit differently because I feel like blush shades can be so specific. So I tallied up these points based off of formula, but there definitely are some that had a specific shade that was mentioned the most. So I'll be sure to mention those after every review. Kaylee said, I used to be a blush hater. I used to think it made me look clown-like, and so I just never reached for it until I tried this. This cream formula is so much more natural looking on my dry skin than powder, and just looks so radiant and flattering, specifically the shade Turks and Caicos, which is the perfect coral pink. I love using this when doing a full glam look or just throwing it on bare skin to look refreshed and ready for the day. Blends like a dream. You need this. Love you, Allie. Love you too, Kaylee. Thank you for sharing your review with us. The top shades that were mentioned in this e.l.f. Putty blush were definitely Turks and Caicos, Tahiti, and Bali. So they do have a lot of different shades, but I did want to mention the top mentioned shades in case you were interested. All right, coming in at number 9 with 55 votes. I've got a bunch of the shades. Oop! I almost dropped that into my cup. Okay, I don't know if you can see them all if I'm holding them like this. But the Glossier Cloud Paints, you guys, this is ranked in 9th place. Let me just pick one to hold. I'll do this one. Imogen said, I feel like the cloud paints might have been the start of the liquid cream blush craze, and now every brand has one. The shade Dusk is the perfect pinky bronzy nude shade that seems to work on so many skin tones. They all blend like a dream. The pigment can seem a little intimidating at first glance, as a little goes a long way, but with a quick tap of a damp sponge, they mesh beautifully into the skin for an elevated, natural look. Adoring this series, every time I see a new installation, I stop everything and grab a cup of tea and watch it. That is so cute. I love that you painted that picture for me, Imogen. Thank you so much for your review. It's been a while since I've used the cloud paint. I need to reach for it, and it also makes me so happy, Imogen, that you like cozy up to this series, because somebody said in the last video, the bronzer video, that this is like a book club but for makeup, and that resonated so deeply with me. That's the energy behind this series, I feel like. Don't you guys agree? Michelle said, hey Allie, I just love how the cloud paint wears. It's such a blendable formula that can sheer out and give me a natural yet vibrant flush to my skin. I'm definitely more of a natural makeup gal, and I love how I can control how much I apply and how much I blend it out with my fingers. Definitely an everyday staple for me. Love you, Allie. Love you too, Michelle. Thanks for your review. The top shades in this, for those wondering, were Dusk, which is this one, Storm, which is this one. I actually haven't used this that much. I should. And then also Puff and Beam, these two. I used to use these a lot, and I used to mix them together. They're really fun to mix. So yeah, that's number 9. All right, you guys, so coming in at number 8 with 56 votes, so just one more vote than the Glossier Cloud Paint. They were almost tied. It's the Fenty Cheeks Out Cream Blushes. It's been a while since I've used these too. That's what I love about this series. It helps me personally realize and recognize the things that are really, really good in my collection that I should be dipping into again. So Notion was specifically talking about Summertime Wine in this review, which is this gorgeous shade right here. How pretty is this color? I don't know if I've ever tried this one. I need to. So Notion said, this blush formula was love at first sight. The blush is so blendable, gives the most beautiful color and tone, and the slight dew it leaves on my skin is perfect. I'm currently picking out what makeup I want to use on my wedding day, and I already know this will be my blush. Anyone with a medium skin tone must have this blush and color, and honestly, all the colors in the range. Love your videos and you, Allie. Thank you so much, Notion. I really can't wait to try this. It makes me want to dip into it. I actually can't believe that I haven't already. I kind of want to see what that looks like. Oh, the most beautiful kind of berry tone. That's very exciting. Heather also submitted this blush as her favorite, and she said, it's so hard to pick only one blush since I love so many. I feel you on that. And I'm blush obsessed. I notice I go through blush phases based on the seasons, and my current favorite is the Fenty Cream Blush, specifically in the shade Rose Latte, which is this one. Here's that color. This one's really, really pretty too. It's such a beautiful, natural, rosy bronze color on my fair skin. It gives a natural glow, stays put all day, and blends so well. I adore it. Super happy to see these ranked in the top 10. Some of the other most talked about shades were Petal Poppin, which is my number 1. See, I love this one. I really do use this quite a bit. And then also Bikini Martini was mentioned a couple of times, which is this super, super bright shade. I'm actually wearing this underneath some other blushes. I've mixed like 3 today. This one looks really scary in the pan, but it's actually really nice on the cheeks. So there we have it. Number 8, the Fenty blushes. Let's go ahead and move to number 7. All right, so coming in at number 7 with 61 votes is the Honest Beauty Cream Blushes. I bet you guys could have guessed that this would be ranked. I feel like it's been very hyped on YouTube the past few years, and for good reason. It's a really good blush. So I'll read you the reviews and then I'll show you the colors that were most mentioned. Liza said, this blush is phenomenal. So long wearing and pigmented. I love the compact mirror and sturdy packaging. The color gives off such a cozy vibe, which I love for winter, like you just came in from the cold. I love that so much. In my experience, I have found it even layers well over powder. Definitely a staple. I have to agree. I also find that this layers well over powder, and I love that picture that you painted of it being something cozy and great for winter. I would have to agree. Sierra said, this blush is a staple for me. It applies so easily and looks super natural on the skin. I love that I can apply this blush underneath or on top of powder. So she also notices that it works on powder, which is great. It's so versatile and reliable. I have the shades Peony Pink and Coral Peach, and they are just so pretty. This series is so awesome, and it is making me want to try everything. I love you and your videos so much, Allie. You guys are so nice to me. You always bring so much joy to my day, and your makeup recommendations have never failed me. Oh, Sierra, I wish I could hug you right now. Thank you so much for your kind words. You guys are like the nicest people. I truly feel like you're my closest friends. I'm so grateful for you. So the two shades that were the most mentioned, I mean, every single shade was mentioned at least a couple times, but the most used were definitely Peony Pink first, which is this one. This is my most used as well. And then the second most talked about was Dusty Rose, which is a little bit more muted. So in case anyone was wondering. All right, in 6th place, we actually have 2 brands that tied, but there's gonna be a few formulas that I talk about. Both brands were kind of tricky because there were so many people that were talking about the brand, so I knew they had to rank, but there were also very specific shades, so I did my best. I just kind of grouped them to say, okay, you guys really love this brand, and here are the top shades that you're talking about from the brands, kind of a thing. So the first one to rank in number 6 with 74 votes is Patrick Ta, which I love his blushes so much. If you didn't know, he has a couple of formulas that were mentioned quite a bit. So the cream and powder duos were mentioned, as well as his monochrome moment blushes as well. So we're gonna read some of the reviews and I'll tell you which shades were talked about most. So Sarah was specifically talking about She's That Girl, which I thought I had somewhere. I don't know where I ended up putting it. That's one of my favorite shades as well. So I'm just gonna hold up one of the packages, but just know this is the shade she was referring to. She said, seriously, where was this my whole life? This summer I discovered this blush, this shade, and I've been in love ever since. The color is beautiful and is a great fit for my pale skin tone. Honestly, it seems like I can't mess up with this blush because it's so light yet so pigmented. What is the sorcery? I'm a blush person, I'm quite obsessed, and this one is always in my makeup bag, ready to get put on. I love that blush too. I think the shade is so beautiful. It's one of my most used from Patrick Ta as well. Amanda said, oh my gosh, I was not a big blush person until I purchased this. A++ in every category. Packaging is gorgeous and the formula of both the cream and powder blush is absolute perfection, creating such an ease of application. Plus, you're getting 2 different formulas that work seamlessly together but also perform beautifully on their own. Love your channel, Allie. You're beautiful inside and out. Amanda, thank you so much. You guys are seriously so nice to me. So those 2 comments I believe were about the cream and powder, but so many of you guys talked about the monochrome moment blushes, like I said. Some of the top shades were, and let me see if I've got them. Okay, so She's Seductive, which is this like kind of muted mauve-y beige color. I love this one. She's So LA, which I've got right here. Also something a little bit more on the beige bronzy side. It's gorgeous. And then She's That Girl, which is the pink blush duo, I believe. So yeah, Patrick Ta ranked at number 6. Tied at number 6 was MAC Powder and Mineralized Blushes. So this is one that I kind of combined again. I don't actually own more than one of these blushes that were mentioned, but I did actually buy one. I'll tell you guys about that in a second. So I've got MAC Melba right here. It's the only one that I've got, and this was one of the top talked about shades. So Ralph, whose favorite shade was Gingerly in the powder formula, said this blush gives the perfect healthy sun-kissed glow without being too orange or warm. It's the perfect shade for my medium complexion. This is also a good shade to use on no foundation days. It looks super natural, it's not shimmery, but the color gives you a radiant complexion and I love it. I need to try that shade. I've heard so much about Gingerly and I know so many people are probably gonna be like, what? You've never tried that? But I honestly haven't, so I'll have to go buy that sometime soon. Nika said, in regards to Melba, which is this color right here, I have a big stash of blushes and keep coming back to this one. I love the undertone, not too brown, but peachy in the best way. And the formula is so forgiving and buildable. I do really love this blush as well. I used to use this so often, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably own this. I also threw in a random shade that I thought was really fun, and this is what I ended up buying. So Alice said in regards to the Fleur Power blush, which is also the powder formula, she said it's the prettiest and girliest blush ever. Fun fact, Lily James wore Fleur Power in the Cinderella movie in 2015. As soon as I read that comment, I was like, hold the phone. I had to look this up myself. Sure enough, I found an article where a makeup artist did say that in order to get that like flush when she was outside, that was the color of blush that she used. So I bought that blush And besides Melba, the other shades that were mentioned the most were Peaches, Gingerly, and then Warm Soul, which was in the mineralized finish. There were a lot of other ones that were mentioned, but those were definitely the top colors. All right, you guys, at number 5 with 82 votes is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blushes. Now, I actually don't know if I have any of the shades that were mentioned the most, so I'll just read them to you, but I'll hold one up for you guys so you can see how beautiful. This one is the shade Euphoric Fusion, which is so pretty. Lucy said, "This blush was the first luxury branded product I ever got myself when I went on a trip to New York years ago, and I still love it. I get such a beautiful glow on my cheeks. I've tried many blushes and I always come back to this one as my day-to-day go-to blush. Love this series. Can't wait to see what is number 1 to see if anything can steal my go-to blush." Thank you, Lucy, for your review. Marie said, "Hi, Allie. I bought this blush because you raved about it, so I felt I needed it. I'm so glad I did. I love it. The packaging is beautiful." It really is. It's so nice. "And I love the marbled effect of the baked formula. The shade is beautiful, very flattering, and I find it lasts all day on the skin. Once again, your recommendation was spot on, so thank you. Love this series and your channel. Love from Ireland." Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Thank you for watching my videos, Marie. The top shades were Mood Exposure, Diffused Heat, and Dim Infusion. I don't have any of those. What I own is Euphoric Fusion, which is like the berry. And then my other top 2 favorites are Sublime Flush, which is this one. I love this one. And also Luminous Flush, which is this. So I'm gonna have to go and pick up some of those blushes. I almost wish I would have filmed this during the Sephora savings event that was just going on, because then I could have saved a little bit on these Hourglass blushes, but it would also make a good Christmas gift, so you never know. I might ask for a couple of those shades for Christmas. All right, you guys, coming in at number 4 with 92 votes. Dun, 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 dun. I have 4 shades in this formula. It's this right here. It's the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. I'm sure so many of you guys could have guessed that these would be ranked. Let me see here. Let's do this one right here. This is the shade Exposed. I'm wearing this towards the back of the cheeks today. Fiona says, "These blushes last all day. The shade Captivate is a gorgeous color that works with everything. I found myself reaching for it constantly the last couple of months. We've been in lockdown where I'm from, Sydney, Australia, so even on my no makeup days, this blush was always the first I reached for and has stayed my number 1 even now out of lockdown." So actually I do own the shade Captivating. I bought this shade because of you guys. So here's that corally shade that Fiona was talking about. And it really goes to show you, I mean, if there was any makeup product that we were reaching for during lockdown, which we've all been through at some point over the past year or 2, that really shows something, because I feel like so many of us kind of steered clear of our normal full glam makeup routines. But if you were still reaching for things during lockdown to make yourself feel beautiful at home, I feel like that really says something about the product. So this was that product for Fiona. Denny said, "I love this blush. The pigment is there, easy to blend, and I love that it has a little bit of shimmer to highlight my cheekbones. When a lot of my other makeup has been brushed away by the end of the day, that blush is always still there." Thank you, Denny, for your review. So the main shades that were talked about the most was Paaarty, with a lot of A's. It's like Paaarty. Exposed, which is, again, this one, which I am actually wearing. I do really like this. And then Captivate was the next one, which was that corally shade. But this comes in a lot of different colors. There were so many different shades that were talked about. Some of you guys like have a lot of different shades and couldn't pick. You were just like, any of the shades. These are all so great. So yeah, that is what ranked at number 4. We're going to move into the top 3, which is always so exciting. I'm actually really shocked, but not shocked about the product that ranked at number 3 with 104 votes, the Rare Beauty, let me gather these, hold on. Soft Pinch Blushes, you guys. There are so many fun colors in this range. I think they're beautiful. This is my personal favorite shade called Bliss. Faith said, "This blush is absolutely fantastic. It's pigmented, long wearing, and easy to use. There's a huge shade range of unique colors and the bottle lasts forever. I can't get enough of it. Love your videos so much, Allie." Thank you, Faith. Thank you for your review. It's true, you don't need that much at all. So a little bit goes a very long way with this. Hannah said, "Believe me when I say Rare Beauty really did that. This blush is very pigmented, so a little goes a long way," again. Hannah feels that way too. It lasts all day when no other blushes I've tried do. The tube will last you a lifetime, not to mention the packaging is gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. It's much more portable than a traditional blush compact and is great for travel. Totally. I think the applicator is really cool. It's got this kind of doe foot applicator. I personally like to dot it on the back of my hand and then apply it, but you can dot it directly to the cheeks if you want to, and it blends out really well. You just need the tiniest amount with this, seriously. Aisha said, I love this blush so much that I bought 3 shades. It's so pigmented, but so easy to blend. I only need to use 1 dot on each cheek, and that's enough. This will definitely last a lifetime. So smooth, so easy to blend, very pigmented, and the colors are gorgeous. For sure a must-have if you're into cream and liquid blushes. Thank you, Aisha. I've got some really fun shades right here. But the top 3 shades that were mentioned were definitely Bliss, which is this one right here, this kind of peachy pink. Also, the shade Happy, which I don't know if I have. I thought I did, but I don't know if I have it. And then also the shade Joy, which is this really fun kind of peachy coral shade. So there you have it. Number 3, the Rare Beauty Liquid Blushes. All right, you guys, so at number 2, with 114 votes, were the NARS Powder Blushes. Now, there's a few shades that were definitely mentioned. NARS Orgasm was definitely the number 1 mentioned. I will have the other shades listed in the description box because if you guys know NARS and their blush shades, they're very explicit names. So I'm trying to keep things pretty chill here on my channel, so if you want to hear about the other shades that are mentioned, I will have them listed in the description box for you. But let's go ahead and talk about this iconic blush. Talon said, the most perfect glow from within blush for me. I wore this on my wedding day for an effortless bridal glow. This blush is the prettiest peachy pink tone that flatters my medium skin any time of the year. I also love how it's basically a blush and highlight in one, perfect for full glam or every day. Love your channel and your calming, kind personality. Thank you so much. You guys are seriously so sweet. I always love when people mention the products that they wear on their wedding day in these series. I just feel like if it's something that someone trusts for their wedding day, it's a holy grail item. You know what I mean? So that was the case for this blush with Talon. Julia said, this is still a cult classic for a reason. The shade is a beautiful mix of pink and peach, which matches with everything. The shimmer in it shifts the blush to a wonderful champagne glow, and it means I don't have to worry about highlighter when I wear this blush. I recommend trying this classic shade if you haven't already. And Julia was talking about this shade, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive because that was like 85% of people who submitted NARS Orgasm for sure. Okay, so the next review is from Sana or Sana. I'm not sure which way to pronounce that. I do my best with your names. I'm sorry if I mispronounce one of your names. I wish I could like reach out to you guys and ask you how to pronounce them so I wouldn't get them wrong. But anyways, they said, as a blush lover, it's hard to pick just one, but I feel the NARS Orgasm blush is a shade I can use year round with so many different makeup looks. I especially love the slight sheen it has. It's also flattering on many different skin tones. I've used it to do my makeup on friends and family. I've also used it as an eyeshadow when in a hurry, and it draws the whole look together effortlessly. Also, a little goes a long way. I only have the mini version and I still haven't hit pan on it. Love NARS and especially love the Orgasm blush. So this is something that has been a classic product in people's makeup kits and in like just the everyday woman's makeup bag for years. Like I remember growing up, and I'm not sure exactly when this shade launched, but I remember like growing up and hearing about it or reading about this shade in magazines, and just like everyone loves this shade. So definitely something that has been around for a while, but for a reason. You can kind of see right here, you can see that shift. It kind of shifts from pink to peach to almost that champagne color, which is really nice. Alrighty, you guys, are you ready for the number 1 ranked blush? With 218 votes, the Milani Baked Blush ranked at number 1. I grabbed, ooh! I literally like just dislocated my shoulder trying to catch that. Okay. I grabbed like 3 shades. I think these are the only 3 shades that I own. No, I own a couple more. I just grabbed a couple of these. Okay, so A lot of different shades were mentioned again, but I'm sure you could guess which one was the most mentioned, which I will just say right now, and I'll tell you the other shades in a second. Luminoso was by far the #1 shade that was talked about. It's this gorgeous peachy coral shimmer shade, another classic that I feel like everyone has tried and used for years. So Christina said, listen, I love blush. It is my favorite part of my makeup routine because it brings so much color and life to my makeup looks. I have to agree, it's one of my favorite steps too. There are so many that I love, but the Milani Baked Powder Blush just had something special. It gives me the prettiest flush of color and a gorgeous sheen that is just enough of a glow for me to skip the highlighter, but not too glowy that it makes me look shiny or emphasize my texture. I just love it. This is what I'm wearing on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm actually not wearing highlight today, so you can see the effect that that gives. It's so beautiful. Maria said, hi Allie, I'm 60 years old with a warm complexion and platinum hair. That sounds so gorgeous. And this blush seems to work perfectly for me. It melts easily into the skin and never looks drying. It leaves a beautiful sheen, but it's not glittery. Absolutely beautiful, just like you. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Thank you for this series. I'm loving it. Thank you, Maria. It is so fun when I have more of my mature audience chime into these videos because I feel like that is like more meaningful, and I trust women with more mature skin when they give makeup recommendations, because if it works for them, like, it's got to be an amazing product. So I was super happy to see Maria, who is 60, loving this blush, along with the rest of us. That just shows you how good and how versatile this product is. Lori said, this was so amazing. I used this product during my wedding, another wedding, which I love, because it truly does give an airbrushed feel, because it doesn't feel like powder, it feels nicer, and I truly love the series. You're so influential and so good at makeup. Lori, thank you. Truly, like, what did I ever do to deserve you guys? I hope you know how much I appreciate you, and your kindness does not go unnoticed. I'm so grateful for your sweet comments that you leave. The last review I'm going to read is from Victoria, and she had so much to say about this blush, which I was super excited about. So she said, story time. I used to be an anti-blush person, but was gifted a Milani blush in the shade Luminoso, which is this one, by a friend. And ever since then, I've been using this blush for years now, and it's oh so good. Milani Baked Blush made me fall in love with blushes in general. I have a few different blushes from other brands too in my collection now, but if I had to choose just one blush for the rest of my life, it would definitely be this one, since this is the product that got me into blushes, so it holds a special place in my heart. It complements my fair, dry skin quite well. It's nicely pigmented, easy to blend, and stays on for up to 6 to 8 hours easily, even if you don't use a setting spray. It has many glitter particles in it that look natural, and sometimes I don't even feel the need to put a highlighter on. It's so perfect for special events and nights out. The shades are all so distinct from each other that I have Luminoso, Dolce Pink, Berry Amore, Rosa Romantica, and Bella Bellini currently in my makeup collection. I love how many you've collected. Not to mention the packaging is so very sleek, sophisticated, and luxurious looking, making the drugstore product look like a high-end product in my makeup drawer. So there you have it, you guys. The top shades were definitely Luminoso, Dolce Pink, and Petal Primavera, but a lot of different shades were mentioned, Luminoso being the #1, kind of like the NARS one. This was definitely the most mentioned. I kind of wanted to see, because I've never actually done this before, I wanted to see on the back of my hand the difference between this one and the NARS blush, which now that I'm swatching it, they are kind of similar but kind of different. It's so interesting. They're both very similar as far as the sheen that they give off. You see that? So this is the Milani Luminoso and this one is NARS. Look how nice that is. They both kind of give that luminosity, but you can tell they're not dupes for each other as far as the colors go. I was just curious to see what that looked like side by side. Alright you guys, so that completes this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing what the top 10 blushes were according to you. Thank you again to everybody who participated. Every submission counts and matters, so I hope you know I'm so grateful for all of you who took the time to submit your favorites and to write your reviews. I love reading through your reviews, and even though I'm not able to read every single one on camera, I see hundreds and hundreds of reviews and read them, and I just love reading through why you guys love these products. So thank you again to everybody who participated. If you want to join me in the next episode, go ahead and fill out the Google form in the description box. Tell me what the best highlighter is. I want to know. Again, it can be either cream or powder formulas like you see here. It just ends up kind of being a mix of creams and powders, which I love. So we're just going to kind of blanket the entire category and talk about highlighters. No matter the price point or the formula, just let me know what you guys love when it comes to highlight. Again, if you want to watch any of the other episodes, I'll have the playlist in the description box down below. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe, and you'll get a notification every single time I post. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with how these ended up ranking. If there was a blush that you feel like really deserved to be in the top 10 but didn't quite make it, let me know in the comments as well. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!